Happy Tuesday. Thank you for the bits, Primus. And thanks for the sticker, even though it didn't show up. It showed up for us,
Yes, it did.
just not for you. How is everybody? Good, I hope.
I'll be happier tomorrow at this time.
Yeah, bedtime. So we have stickers. You can slap stickers on the stream. So Redbeard slapped a sticker. Did you get to go on vacation too, Primus? And then they just hang out. Till they fall off.
And then it's sad. So sad.
Only some of them. Working a lot's not fun. My computer went down today, and the IT dude was struggling to get me back up, and it was pissing me off. Because I feel like once you know a little bit about IT work, like having somebody else do it, I'm like, I don't need you to do this. I can do this by myself. I just need your access. You know what I'm saying? Just type in your admin password and I'll fix it myself. Yeah, super frustrating. I mean, I did get paid for like, what, an hour and a half of working on my stream instead of actually working, so I can't really complain.
And talking on the phone.
When talking on the phone. So,
Very
I mean,
productive.
it was productive, I thought. Oh, and he's like head of IT, and our company is like 2,000 employees. I'm like, all right. I don't know. Like, our family comes from an IT family. And so, I don't know, it's super frustrating. And then when they're like, did you try turning it off? I'm like, no, I didn't even think of that. Like, I get that they have to be that way because a lot of people are tech stupid. But when you're not, it's so frustrating.
I like when they ask if you've got it plugged in. You're like, no, I didn't think to check that first.
I like to start right at the beginning. Yeah, you're a programmer, so you know. You're like, I've already power cycled everything. That didn't fix it. And I'm like trying to explain to this dude because we have 80,000 passwords that we have to use. And he's like, well, your password's not right. I'm like, no, it is. But my computer wasn't set up correctly, so I don't use the same password structure as everybody else. And he was like, no, you have to use this password structure. I'm like, bud, been working here 3 years, and I've never used that password structure, okay? Like, I understand I have to log into the VPN, but not for this. Please get off of me. You're stupid. Well, and IT work is one of those things where you can go to school for some IT work and other stuff just comes with experience. Like, I mean,
I just married the IT guy.
I was
so
gonna say, when I have issues, that's what I do. I just call Fox. Hey, what's your spouse doing? I need help. Some things are just laziness too. Like, can I install my own hard drive? Yes. Do I want to? No. No, I don't.
Oh, no judgment here, because that happens here all the time. Where
Yeah.
I'm like, fix, make work, and he's like, you know how to fix that. I'm like, yeah. Now you fix, make work.
Yeah, like it's
I'm gonna go make some coffee.
I don't want to. Or like, I bought a pre-built computer, which if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I would have like turned my nose up. But now I'm like, I do not fucking have time to sit around and build my PC. Like, you just build it and ship it to me so I can plug it in and it works.
I was forced to build my own. And saying it.
You have to renew your wedding vows by building a computer so they can tell if you're marriage material still.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
I just want to do the fun, cute stuff. I don't want to... No. Or like people that try to give you advice, like, oh, if you're going to build your computer, make sure you ground yourself out. I'm like, shut the fuck. You don't even know what you're talking about.
I mean, you probably should.
You probably should. I'm not discounting that. But like certain people that give advice, you're like, you don't even know. You've just heard somewhere on Linus Tech that you should ground yourself out, and now you're just regurgitating.
They're like, there's this like 2% chance you could cause problem with static electricity, so you should ground yourself. And they're like, it's 100%.
Yeah.
You have to do it or you'll kill your computer.
Like, you know what I did before I did put my hard drive in? I took my socks and scooted across the floor just to build up extra static. For
Snuggled the cat.
Yeah. Played with some balloons. It was fine. Or like people that don't understand the difference between a hard drive and RAM. Oh my god. Kill yourself. Like, don't really, but I can't. You need more memory. Oh no, I got a terabyte hard drive. Oh. Okay. You're right. You're right. You got worse because you don't have a PC. Or it got worse.
I don't miss working in this field, I'll be real.
I don't either.
I mean, we had some fun stories, like the lady that put toast in her CD-ROM.
Yeah, we got that a lot. Or like a lady called. So my dad ran an IT business for homeowners and businesses, and when he passed away, we had probably close to 2,000 active customers. Okay, so we would get calls all the time, and we all kind of had our specialties, and it worked really well. But there were some craziness. And so you would almost like rock, paper, scissors to be like, who's dealing with this dumb bitch? Because it's not me. Like, a lady called and she was like, my cup holder's broken. Remember that one?
Yes.
And we're like, you're what? And she's like, my cup holder, it broke. On your computer? Yeah. This lady was opening her CD-ROM and using that to hold her coffee. Like,
I like
ma'am.
that lady that used to put CDs in her floppy drive, so we just went and removed it. We're like, problem solved, it's not there anymore.
God. Like, people are so dumb. So dumb. Or like magnets on the side of a computer, and they're like, I don't know, my files just disappear sometimes. That's a mystery. No idea. But
it's self-cleaning.
In the same respect, like, you're getting paid this crazy amount of money just to walk through the door. You're just nice as pie, and you're like, just write me my check when I'm done. I can't even.
Oh, I've walked in where I literally plugged someone's computer in. Yeah.
We live in a very religious community, and we had a bishop that called and said, I got scammed and I have a bunch of porn popping up on my computer. And we're like, all right, we'll come over and check it out. He calls back like not even 2 minutes later, and he's like, I took care of the problem. We're like, oh, okay, what did you do? Because he's not tech savvy at all. He was like, well, my wife was on her way home and I didn't want her to see, so I just unplugged it and threw it down the stairs. All right. I mean, you're not wrong.
And we got, a nice sell out of that.
You did.
We're
Need a
like,
new computer?
You don't need this fancy of a computer, but we did hear what was happening and why you threw it down the stairs. And he's like, okay, write me here's your check. Just take my money.
Oh, thank you for the gifted subs. You didn't have to do that so much. I turned the alerts down so we can't like fully properly rock out. But thank you, thank you.
Woot woot.
Yeah. That's an okay interruption. As long as nobody's going to the hospital. Don't like those interruptions.
My dog is dying.
Mine is
Sorry.
sleeping.
I apologize if you have to hear that later.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, look, I can do this. I can give you some broke.
Why are you breaking things?
I just like to break things. Kind of fun. Come in, welcome in. A little pre-scheduled discussion about IT work. Trigger works in IT as well? Yeah, I grew more hair overnight. You chopped yours off, I grew mine out.
Magic.
I mean, thick hair is okay. Balding hair is okay.
All hair is okay. Unless you don't want it. Then it's not okay.
Yeah, accurate. Like shaving legs, that hair sucks.
But I like how it feels afterwards.
Exactly. No, it's not Ninetales the Pokemon. It's a kitsune.
That's just cute and fluffy.
Like a demon fox.
Yep. I eat people.
Do you eat people or do you eat people's souls?
I guess it depends on how hungry I am.
No, we don't scream. We're mellow. Screaming's for Saturdays with the boys. Oh, I don't even know that I've seen Evil Dead 3.
Maybe.
You gotta go? Sorry I disappointed you. I didn't say I didn't like Army of Darkness. I'll have to take a picture of my Evil Dead diorama and send it to you.
The one I gave to you?
Yeah.
It's cute.
It is really cute. I just don't know that I've seen the third one. And if I have, it's been a minute. Yeah, Bruce Campbell is a stud. I'll give you that.
That's like my main reason for watching Burn Notice.
Mm-hmm. I don't think those Evil Deads are the Rob Zombie ones, right? Those are like the original. Back from the old days. I mean, not really. The old days.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Yeah, like the 80s.
I only know of like 2 Rob Zombie movies. I mean, I might have seen other ones, I just only know of 2 associated with him.
The ones I forced you to watch.
Yeah.
I have
those
a thing
ones.
for House of a Thousand Corpses and the Devil's Rejects. Thanks for the follow. We have alerts down, so it's not like properly rock out. Yeah, I think the Rob Zombie ones were later, right? Like 2010s.
I don't know. I only know of the Evil Deads from like the 80s.
Yeah. Those are the
And
ones
I
that
only
watched.
recall the first one, but I'm pretty certain we have all three.
And we're gonna have to go have an Evil Dead marathon. You don't like the Rob Zombie movies? Bro, if you're a grandpa, that makes me a grandma. So no, I'm not calling you a grandpa.
I do like to dress like a whiskey grandpa, though.
A whiskey grandpa? I think
Yeah.
we're all grandpas in here, to be honest.
Like moonshine style.
Oh
losing
yeah.
my teeth. Worked in the mines. I like to dress like that.
The crazy eye that you just sometimes shoot at your grandchildren and they're like, oh my god, is grandpa okay? You don't talk about grandpa.
Yeah, it's like Bruno.
I'm definitely a grandpa. Like, I look forward to that age you get where you can claim old person. You know what I'm talking about? Like, there comes an age where people just don't expect anything out of you. It's like being a toddler. They're like, well, I know grandma's kind of a bitch, but she's done her time. I'm ready for that stage in life.
I just live that stage now.
I still live the customer service life where I'm nice to people and then I bitch about them when I get off work.
No, see, that was my job when I worked for Dad.
Yeah.
All those times that he's like, we need to collect money from these people. I'm like, I'm on it.
Yeah, I like doing that part too.
I like to yell at people and tell them, we're not going to work on your computers ever again. You can piss off. That's my favorite part.
I respect that. Yeah, so we're
Because
siblings.
I like to, swallow souls.
Yeah. We're siblings. Have been for a long time now.
30-something years. We old.
Whatever. I'm the nice one. You
I mean,
should
that's
feel
true.
sorry for me.
Uh-huh. Unless you have a car.
That was one time.
One time was
Let
enough.
it go. I did my time.
I'm not attached to snow, so I don't have to let it go. Thank you.
So I will say, like, growing up, I feel like we were pretty tight as, like, little kids. And then, like, the preteen years happened, and we hated each other. We didn't hate each other, but there was, like, a lot of resentment going on there. I think. Maybe not. I mean, to be fair, I was, like, smoking hella weed and making poor life decisions.
I mean, I think for us, we were more distant during that time, but compared to, like, other people,
Yeah.
we were still pretty tight.
And now we're just, like, best friends.
Yeah. I think it's because we didn't really have to spend a lot of time at school together.
Yeah,
We
probably.
had a break.
But we're still close enough in age that it's not like I'm hanging out with somebody 12 years younger than me, because I feel like that would also be kind of hard to connect.
Yeah.
That wasn't
think-
convincing. That wasn't
I-
convincing.
I think the reason we weren't so nice to each other was in elementary school, because we did have like 3 years together.
Yeah.
And
But,
then middle
like-
school hit, and we were in different schools, so
Mhm.
it was all good.
Well, and we're very different people. Like, if you've seen the Wednesday show, that's literally our personalities. Like, Fox is very introverted and, like, when I was like, hey, do you want to come to a Just Chatting stream? Fox was like, you want me to socialize? And I was like, yes. Or, like, you were way more into reading and
Math.
that kind of stuff. And I was more concerned about socializing and making as many friends as I possibly could. So we were just very different. So I think that had a lot to do with it too. Because at the time, I'm pretty sure I was like, you're into nerd stuff. Not about that life.
Now look at where you are.
I know.
You've come to the nerd side.
I think the nerd side is typically nicer.
I don't know
Less
if I'd
fake.
go that far.
Less fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that one. We're more likely to tell you when you piss us off.
Yeah. We are nerds.
I like math.
I hate math. But if
I
you
hate
need
math in modern society.
That too. But if you need a paper written in like 3 hours, I got you.
I used to sell my homework to people.
I used to just not do homework.
Well, that was part of my cover. I had to do my homework. I was the good student because I totally liked school. Totally.
I was like, I'm gonna skip school every chance I get. You can totally have a cookie. Want a fortune cookie? Oh, wait. Let me turn the fortune cookies on before you redeem them. They are in the channel point read. Okay, should be good. There should be a little fortune cookie. Good luck and overcoming hardships. That's a pretty great fortune. I don't think I've ever gotten like a fortune in a fortune cookie where I was like, this resonates. Usually it's weird stuff like, you're gonna travel abroad. I'm like, no the fuck I'm not. Yeah, considering what you have coming, that's great news.
I usually give the fortune cookies to my dog.
I love
Her
that.
fortunes are pretty accurate usually. They're
You're
like,
gonna
you get everything you ask for, and then she's like, can I lick your plate? We're like, yeah.
Only
The
because
fortune
of
cookie
yeah.
said so.
That's how you know you hit older adulthood. You just let your dogs do what they want because they're cute. You don't do that shit for your kids.
I don't do
Only
that
your
for
dogs.
my dog either, because she would be more sad if I let her do everything she wanted and then the vet put her on another diet.
Touche. Like, my dog just sticks his head under the desk and just peeks up at me like, I would like a chip too. Like, okay. You can have a chip. Or like, I have full-blown conversations with my dog because I'm home alone all day long. So I'm like just trying to reason with a dog about how he can't eat chocolate chip cookies, but I can.
We don't judge for conversations.
Thanks for the sub.
It's better to talk to your pet than to talk to yourself when you're home alone.
I guess externally.
Yeah. You sound less crazy.
If you have a dog there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. My dog's just butthole. He's very sad though because your dog had surgery and so he hasn't been able to have friend time. So
yeah.
he's going crazy.
She's sad about that too.
He's like, we need to have more friends with that have dogs.
But only good dogs. Mom's dogs aren't good dogs.
No. No. Oh, Katie sent me this TikTok. She's still sleepy? Katie sent me a TikTok that said that the two dogs closest to wolf DNA are huskies, which that makes sense. And then the second dog was, and this is strictly closest DNA profile, was a Shih Tzu.
Ugh.
Just take a quick break, drink some water, and go back to bed.
I don't get how Shih Tzus have anything to do with wolves.
I don't know. We're kind of biased. My mom has two Shih Tzus, and those dogs are fucking assholes.
Oh, they are pampered little shits.
Like, I had to go over there, and the one dog, Bella, gets this bag stuck around her leg. So I reached down to just help her get the bag off her leg. She's just dragging it through the room. As soon as I touch her, this dog lets out the most horrendous dying scream. My mom comes rushing in, like elbows me out of the way to get to the dog to make sure that the dog's okay. I'm like, I just touched her. I didn't, like, it wasn't even like I tripped over her, nothing. Like, I just touched her. What the fuck?
I mean, I made their one dog move out of the door so I could leave, and they pushed me out the door so I broke my finger. Or at least that's what I'm going to tell people.
They probably did. Like, those dogs are dicks. My mom's like, yeah, but they just like to be held and baby. Alright. I guess.
And they pick fights with everyone else's dogs.
Yeah. Like, my dog had to go stay. My dog's really chill, honestly. Like, he's got a lot of energy, but he's super friendly. Oh, like, he's super mellow dog, but my mom's dogs hate him. So I got a call in another state, and my mom's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, what do you want me to do about it? I'm pretty sure I called you, and I'm like, can my dog come stay at your house?
Yeah, because he did come stay.
Yeah.
I mean, my dog's gotten in how many fights with her dogs?
Yeah, so we're kind of biased against Shih Tzu. Sure, some people have great Shih Tzu, but...
I doubt it. I am pressing F so hard.
Shih Tzus be a struggle. Same with poodles. Not a fan of poodles.
That one we might be biased.
Yeah.
Because I was okay with, like, the first couple poodles, and then it went downhill from there.
Yeah. And poodles be a struggle, too. We're, like, biased against dog breed.
Just ones that aren't ours.
Both of us have lab mixes. Mine is a lab boxer. So he's a little bit bigger. Like, I don't know, probably what, 50 pounds? Maybe? It's not huge. And then his bestest best friend is a lab corgi.
Yep,
And
30 brick.
yeah, she is built. But she's like half his size height-wise. They're
But she
besties.
can outrun him
Yeah.
with her tatty little legs.
We're just like our dogs. Nobody else's dogs. I mean, that's not entirely like police and dog pictures. I do like dog pictures a lot. Like the cousin's dog isn't too terrible.
Some days. I kind of want to adopt the new one.
Oh, yeah. The palm ski. So it's like half Pomeranian, half Husky, which I don't entirely know how that all works out, but it does. And they are pretty stinking cute.
I feel bad for it. It's neglected.
It is neglected as far as attention goes. But again, like, we take our dogs everywhere and spoil the hell out of them.
You have no proof of this? They are not spoiled.
Mine's sleeping in his own giant egg chair right now. Like he owns the house.
Mine's crying in the hallway because they want to be with my husband, and he's in the other room. Yeah.
Animal abuse.
Yeah.
They wear clothes all the time. It's cold outside. It might be mildly spoiled.
They get to, play fetch every couple hours.
Go outside whenever they want. Mine eats all the snacks.
Yeah, mine doesn't really get snacks. We're kind of mean in this house. Though, in fairness, it's because she got put on a diet, so we stopped giving her snacks. And then it just kind of became a habit.
Now she feels like she doesn't get love ever.
That's what she tells people.
When's the last time she had a pup cup? Probably too long.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's been a while since I went and got coffee. She'll probably get one tomorrow, if I'm being honest.
Oh, you can bring me one tomorrow.
Are you getting your stitches removed?
I mean, I can.
That sounds painful when you don't already have some.
I mean, I don't want to get more. I didn't enjoy them.
I wouldn't know. I've never had stitches, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't think you're missing out. I don't even remember what my total count was. A god-awful amount. But he did a good job. Nice.
Cheza is sitting at 18.
He might have gotten a few more than me. You don't remember.
And that mother trucker. Make sure that they don't overstress themselves. Immediately takes off running around the house. First hour she's at home.
Dog surgery's rough. Because you can't just like, I mean, I guess you could like kind of drug them with their pain pills. But it's not the same. Like as an adult, you realize that you have to be good. Even if you don't necessarily want to.
I mean, I don't have to be good.
No, you don't. But you choose to be sometimes.
Sometimes.
Because you know you probably should. Like, you still have that adult consciousness where you're like, I really want to buy this game. And you're like, groceries.
Nope, that's what ramen noodles are for.
I mean, I budget my games in. Like, alright, I'm gonna need $200 in the next 2 months. Just for the games. Alright, you ready to talk about entitlement?
I guess.
So we were reading through some Am I the Assholes today. And we came up with some pretty decent ones. Some of these are not terrible, though. I think we can agree. And some of these are definitely, what the fuck? I think that's pretty much the spectrum we're on.
Yeah, mild until it's not.
Mild and spicy.
There's no in between.
So we'll start with mild, and then we'll gradually increase the heat. So this is one we got. Am I the asshole for telling my cousin that he's an entitled parent? Which already I'm like, I would tell my cousin if he's being an entitled parent. I don't know if you would, but I would.
It depends.
On the
If
cousin?
I don't have to deal with him, then I'll probably just leave him alone.
Okay. Hello. I was wondering if I was wrong in this situation. I, 41 male, had an argument with my cousin, 28 male, concerning his expectations concerning free babysitting and getting regular time off from parenting. He believes that families should provide free babysitting and that he and his wife should get at least one day off a week. They consistently ask the grandparents and other relatives to babysit their 5-year-old twins because they're stressed and overwhelmed. Kids are difficult because there's little discipline and the parents expect everyone to use gentle techniques. They'll whine if anyone says no. Now, are they saying that the parents whine or the children whine? I feel like it could go either way.
I'm thinking the parent because of the next paragraph.
We were at a gathering and he asked me and I said no because I had plans and I wanted to relax that weekend. They whined and asked why. I told them that they're entitled to expect free labor and for expecting so many breaks from doing what they signed up for. Does that make sense? I'm gonna say no. I think there's definitely a difference between helping and being taken advantage of.
There have been plenty of situations in my own life that I've had people that have asked me to babysat and I'm like, nope, not today, Satan.
Are you using me, Katie?
Actually, no, I was thinking from the other side.
Oh.
I mean,
like,
I've told Juno before too.
Yeah, like I don't take offense about that.
The same way of, okay.
I'm not mad. Also, the expectation that you get at least one day off a week from parenting is fucking insane to me.
I mean, I will be honest, one of the people I said no to didn't really want to take no as an answer. And they told me their kids couldn't watch Disney movies, so guess what we did? We watched goddamn Disney movies.
Yeah, that's the kind of... I don't do that for my own kid, but when I watch other people's kids, I'm like, you want a Mountain Dew for breakfast? Have one. I don't care.
I'm usually pretty good. You tell me they can't eat something or watch something, I'm like, okay. But if I tell you I don't want to do this and you're like, do it anyways, all bets are off.
Chris Norton, pixie sticks for lunch. I don't know, that's wild to me. Like, I rarely ask people to watch Katie for me when she was little. Like, now she's old enough that she can kind of do her own thing. She doesn't need constant supervision. But when she did, I was not, like, you watched her pretty regularly after school. Yeah. But that was only for, like, an hour and a half.
Yeah, you also bought me coffee like once a week.
And I paid for all the groceries that she needed. Yeah, like...
Which I got to eat too.
Yeah. And I did offer to buy gas so that you could go pick her up from school. Because I understand that that's such a huge inconvenience for other people. And again, you don't have kids.
It's free. Free babysitting. You didn't really do free babysitting.
I tried really hard not to. Because again, like, this is my issue, not yours. So I don't know. Like, me, that's not an asshole move. Again, though, I feel like with a lot of these, it's delivery over the actual story. Like, did you walk up and slap your cousin in the face and be like, you entitled piece of shit? That probably makes you an asshole. Yeah. Like, you know that they typed these out and they were like, ooh, that sounds kind of bitchy. Maybe I'll reword that.
I mean, but in the same sense, if someone tells you no and you're like, but why? Come on, just do it. You have to be prepared that they're going to be like, no, I'm done.
I agree. Like, boundaries. Yeah, no means no. Unless it doesn't.
In which case you have safe words.
Yes, exactly. I think boundaries are important, and it's really hard sometimes to set boundaries with people in your family because there's these expectations that family has family's backs, and that doesn't always have to be the case. Like, I don't owe you just because we're related. Like, I always have your back, but I know you have my back too. And I don't take that for granted. And I wouldn't agree with you for the sake of you being my sibling. That wouldn't happen. Like, I feel
like we disagree because we're siblings.
Yeah. And we're like, oh yeah, narcissistic sister-in-law? Yeah, see, family doesn't get to have your back. Like,
we have a narcissist in our family.
We do have a narcissist in our family as well.
We don't have her back very often either.
But
we talk behind the back.
I talk to her face too, though.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad?
Like, I'll tell you you're being dumb as hell. I don't care. Like, okay, so my grandpa got sick and ended up having to go to the ER, and the two of us were the only ones that really didn't know what was going on. And we found out later,
like a week later.
Yeah. And so, like, our family is relatively close. We all talk pretty regularly. Not all of us together, but like, you and one aunt are pretty close in talk. Me and the other aunt are pretty close in talk. Like, every day. Like, somebody talks every day. And so when we found out that we weren't getting that information, like, I went straight to the source and I'm like, hey, this hurt my feelings and I don't appreciate it. And then it was kind of a, yeah, my bad. And it has gotten better. Like, communication is important. Like, people can't fix problems if they don't know their problems. I mean, I still haven't talked to our mother in, like... But... That's not really uncharacteristic.
I can't judge.
About talking with our mother?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, if you can't take the criticism, then I'm just not going to subscribe
we are not your
to you.
People.
Yeah. Thanks for following Not Smash Cats.
It's just safer to say we probably won't be good friends if you can't take criticism.
Yeah. Not an imposter, it's not Smash Cats. I mean, I won't be a dick about it the first few times.
No, that happens after they don't take the criticism well.
Yeah. Or like you, I don't, whatever.
What?
Like, if you really piss me off, I'll tell you.
And I won't fix anything.
You don't take criticism well, we're not friends. Just how it is.
Except for you have to tell us that we have nice hair, even when we don't.
Yeah, that's facts.
That's just what friends do.
Or like, if I smell like I haven't showered, you can let me know. That would be great. Like, don't just let me walk around smelling like a water buffalo, because Friends don't do that.
I feel like friends also don't make you smell them, but you do. So
I do.
this
I
is
do.
why I know we're not friends.
We'll be like in the most serious setting, right? Like grandma's funeral. And I'll just walk up and be like, bro, can you give me a smell? I just need to know if I smell bad. What the fuck, dude? We're at grandma's funeral. I know. Do you know how many people I'm gonna have to hug here? I need you to check this out.
I don't even think I question it anymore. That's the sad part.
Ooh, pizza sounds good. You have pizza.
I
Dinner?
did have pizza.
Everyone's having pizza. It's Tuesday. Y'all should be having tacos, but whatever.
It's an open face taco.
It
It had cheese.
You had Culver's? I'm jealous. We just got a second Culver's location. Did you know this?
No.
You know where Cabela's is?
Yes.
Right in front of Cabela's.
I don't know if that's closer to me.
Not
or
for you, but it is for me. You never had Culver's until you moved? Oh, man. Culver's concrete? Ooh.
That's the only thing to eat from there. Oh no, and the cheese curds.
Oh, see, I like their chili cheese fries.
I just do cheese curds and concretes.
The burgers are subpar. Like, they're alright. They're not, like, I wouldn't drive 300 miles to get one.
I feel like their fries are like Arctic Circle fries.
Yeah, kinda. Do I know why they're subpar? There's...
I just feel like they don't have a lot of flavor. Like it's just like a plain hamburger.
They don't put ketchup or mustard on the damn burger.
Yeah, there's no flavor. See? I knew this one.
Yeah, I don't know, but they're concretes, I'm telling you. That's what makes it worth it. I don't know that I've ever asked for ketchup and mustard at Culver's. Now I'm gonna have to.
I just don't eat their food. I get cheese curds and concretes and then go somewhere else for real dinner. Yeah, like Wendy's.
Yeah. I'll give you that. My kid refuses to
Spicy
eat at
nugget.
Wendy's.
Well, she's Satan.
I agree. I totally agree. We have Culver's and then we have Freddy's, and Freddy's is basic Culver's.
I'd almost rather eat at Culver's than Freddy's.
Yeah, I think I would too. But same style of food. Same burger type, all of that. We don't live in a very big town, and so, like, our food options for, like, fast food, because I feel like Culver's is fast food. Like, our options are McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we've got some variety, because we got Carl's Jr. and Sonic, too.
Panda.
I don't eat Panda.
I know you don't, but it is a thing.
And then we have, like, tons of taco trucks. Like, that's definitely a big thing here.
Yeah, like
Like-
big cities talk about how they have a coffee on every corner. We have a Mexican restaurant on every corner.
100%. Yeah. And it's glorious. Like, if you haven't had horchata from, like, 18 different places, you're not living your life.
There's a place really close to me that has strawberry horchata.
Oh.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. I like horchata a lot. Yeah, dry burgers are not good.
That's why we don't eat there.
You have to go to different restaurants for different things. Like, I think fresh baked McDonald's cookies are the best cookies, fast food wise.
I like Subway's cheese.
Oh, raspberry cheesecake.
Yeah.
Like, I would just get hot cookies from McDonald's, chicken nuggets from Wendy's, ice cream from Culver's.
And fries from Sonic because they have to be chili cheese tots.
Those are. But then
It's
you're
like the only thing from Sonic.
No, there was something about Sonic. Oh, no, the pup cups. You can get pup cups at Sonic?
That are peanut butter.
Yeah. My dog loves Sonic.
We don't go there enough, so Cheza has not learned these things.
We go
She
there
just knows puppuccinos.
because Kitty's violin tutor is right next door to a Sonic, and it's like, I don't want to drive into town, which sounds stupid, I know. But I'm like, I don't want to drive into town to get dinner, so we'll just have Sonic, because right here, and then we can just go home.
Yeah, see, we live like right in the middle.
I'm like just far enough out where it's like inconvenient. Is that a meow?
On my end?
Yeah.
No?
Oh, nope. It was the sound alert.
No, for some odd reason, my cat's being good. It's my dog that's being noisy.
I'm not gonna lie though, that cat noise sounds just like your cat. So you got me, you did. But like when we're on the phone together, that's what I hear. My dog's barking, and then I just hear meow, meow, meow.
She gets louder and louder. It was hilarious because today I was like, hey, can you hear my cat? And you're like, no. And so Missy's like, oh, let me get closer. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, the cat. All the times. But that's what that cat sounds like.
Because she's Satan. I just don't like her meows. Oh my god, you should hear her when she thinks she's the only one in the house.
Be louder?
Yes.
At least she
She
dampers
moves.
for you.
She
Oh gosh.
moves.
Cats are stuck. Cats are stuck.
She like makes this like meow sound constantly until you lock eyes with her, and then she's just like, oh, meow.
That's what
Walks
I
away.
do when I'm home alone too. I have my headphones in and I sing as loud as I possibly can, and then the missionaries knock at the door.
And I sing louder, so
Yeah.
I can't hear the door.
I mean, I can't anyway because I got noise canceling headphones. But I feel like it could potentially save my life because if I were a robber and I broke into somebody's house and they were scream singing some song from Taylor Swift, I'd be like, not today. No, thank you.
It's like bear deterrent. You just gotta be noisy and they'll leave you alone.
Yeah. Like, this seems a little wackadoo. Maybe not.
I mean, in fairness, our house is constantly noisy because, well, there's a corgi and a cat and a fox. We don't know how to not make sound in this house.
It's true. Noisy's fine. Fine.
Like, fire around us, fine?
Yeah. Exactly like that. Alright, which one do you want to talk about next? I'll let you pick this time.
I think we should go with the friend being expensive.
Oh, the friend being expensive? Okay. You want to read this one or you want me to?
You can.
Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my friend to shut up about babies being expensive? Your golf TikTok was hilarious, by the way. My boyfriend and I are currently trying for a baby, and my friend Annalise knows that. Annalise talked a lot about wanting children in the past, but she stopped about a year ago saying that children are too expensive, which is all fine, it's her choice. But she and her husband make a lot of money, so it's not true that they couldn't afford to raise a child. They go on so many vacations, and even just going on one less per year would cover the cost of a baby. She, a few other friends, and I were hanging out, and one of them asked her if she still didn't want children. Annalise went on about how she can't afford it because a child needs this and that, a private school, tutoring, a big house, then a gift house when he or she graduates uni, etc. And she thinks it would be irresponsible to have a baby when she can't provide everything to it. She said all of this while I was sitting next to her, fully knowing I'm about to have a baby with much less money and as a renter. At first, I just told her that babies don't cost that much and she can definitely afford one, but then she kept insisting that a couple needs to make at least X amount of dollars, and I just straight off told her to shut up. She makes 2 to 3 times as much as we do, so shut up. Annalise said she was just answering the question she was asked, and she is not trying to push her views on us, but isn't she, when she literally said I'm being irresponsible?
I
There's
gotta be
like,
honest. I would slap her. Like,
Annalise?
yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but a child needs a gift house for graduating uni?
Dude, where the fuck
No.
is my gift house?
You graduated uni. You got a goddamn, degree.
You can get
That's your
off your ass
reward.
and get a fucking job.
You don't get a gift house. You get a goddamn diploma and move the fuck on.
Okay, I'll give you that. Like, that's nuts. Or like the private school tutoring, all like, excuse me?
And they need a big house. No?
Yeah, like that's all fucking dumb. Also,
I'm-
though, I feel like expensive is very subjective. Like, I provide for my child pretty well. And there are things like, am I super excited every time I drop $80 on a pair of Converse? Not at all. But I can afford to give her those things, so I do.
Yeah, but that doesn't count as, like, the kid's expensive because you have to buy her Converse. No.
Exactly.
If you couldn't afford them, you just go buy her a damn pair of shoes from, like, the DI.
Yeah, exactly. But then for this poster to be like, I told her babies don't cost that much, I'm like, bitch, please. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I feel like this is like everyone sucks here.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, you should have told her to shut up, but you shouldn't have tried to tell her that she was wrong.
yeah. Or like, oh, they could just not go on a vacation. I'm like, I don't feel like the cost of a vacation is gonna cover your child's cost for the year. I just don't think that's reasonable. That's kind of nuts to me.
Like, I feel like Annalise is an asshole.
100%.
Poster, I don't know if I'd say she was an asshole, but she still sucked here.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
But I don't think we're the best judge of people here because, I mean, we didn't necessarily have a normal upbringing. We spent a
didn't.
lot of years in, like, a camp trailer.
Yeah. So, like, when we were children, I always thought we were well to do. Like, I never thought we were poor. But then as an adult, I'm like, oh yeah, we were 100% poor as shit.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. Like, it didn't feel that way. Like, we still did things. Like, we went on vacations and whatever. But then, like, again, as an adult, I realized that my parents probably stashed every possible expendable income that they had just to be able to do that. And it wasn't like we were staying in 5-star hotels when we went on vacation. Like, we were camping. Like,
Yeah.
paying to live like homeless people. But that's not to say that I didn't enjoy our childhood. Like, for the most part, all in all, it was alright.
Yeah.
I never felt like we went without,
We
or...
sure as hell didn't have a big house, tutoring, and a
Mm-mm.
private school.
No. Not at all. Like, we got bare minimums met. Like, you could have your budget of back-to-school clothes, right? But if you wanted extra things like, alright, I will buy you a $20 pair of shoes, but if you would like an $80 pair of shoes, you're gonna have to earn that extra money, and you're gonna have to pay that. I just
Yeah.
can't.
I had to pay for all of my books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Video games. paid for all of our own video games growing up. Like, our parents provided food, clothing, and shelter, but that was it. Like, I bought my own cars, paid my own gas. I might have gotten a gas allowance, actually.
You did, because you bought a cat with it one time.
But I was, like, working, too. Like, I worked when I went. Remember, I worked at that call center?
Yeah. I had to work at, the same place Mom worked. That sucked.
Like, if we wanted extra stuff, like, that's what we had to do.
Still better than mowing lawns. Ugh.
I'm not cut out for manual labor jobs. Like,
I'm not cut
can
out
I
for
do them?
jobs.
I can do them. I don't want to. Like, if it came down to starved or work, I would work a different job. But I don't want to. I like my job of...
I like my job.
of not.
Hey, I do household stuff.
I'm not judging. It works for you.
I am a good house husband.
I
Right?
agree. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, you see all these things, right? Like, I can't remember where I saw it, but they were talking about how spouses have individual bank accounts and whether that's a good idea or not. Now, I've had it both ways. And
Depends
for
on the
me,
people.
personally, having separate bank accounts works a lot better because then everything is so divided that, like, that everybody's contributing. But, like, these people were, like, I guess, like, cash apping each other. Like, oh, you buy dinner and I'll just cash app you $20. Like, so that it was perfectly divided 50%. And they were like, yeah, that's kind of weird. And I was like, yeah. But then I was thinking about, like, your situation where you guys split your money 3 ways.
Yeah.
Like, each
Well, all the
person gets a
extra
third. Yeah. Each person gets a third, and then the household as a collective gets a third.
Yep.
So then it's not, well, I pay more than you do, and like, all your household needs are getting met. But you still
Yep.
feel like you're getting extra on top of that, you know?
It's more I can go spend it stupidly and not have to be like, can I buy this book for $5?
Yeah.
That's cute. I can just do it and he won't yell at me because it was mine.
Yeah.
Came from my share.
Like, I think that is beneficial. So you don't have separate accounts, but you still divide your money separately. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
our
I think
our fun money gets split.
yeah. And I think that makes a difference too.
It helps because we don't fight over money.
Well, and then I feel like you don't have one person that's controlling and one person that's going to, like, can I please buy this? Because I feel like then that creates contention. Just, like, I don't know. For me, I would be sitting there like, I really want to buy this pumpkin cat. Do I need this pumpkin cat? No, but I want it. And then I have to somehow come up with a way that I'm going to justify it to you. Versus just buying it and you... Like, I don't even care if you criticize me after the fact. And you're like, that was the dumbest way you could have spent your money. Like, I know, but it made me happy. But, like, the idea of having to go to you for permission. I don't like that.
We only have to do that if it's certain amounts, which I can completely understand.
Well, like, if one of you shows up with a brand new car, like, what the fuck?
Well, we're like, if it's like $20 or more, yeah, you probably should ask.
Yeah, 100%. And I get that. I don't know. I'm just like, I prefer just to do my own.
But no, I don't typically have to be like, I would like to go buy a coffee today. Can I?
Yeah.
Please, so. Can I have one?
Yeah, I don't like that either. That's not really my thing. I mean, I don't judge people where that works for them. It just doesn't for me. Alright, you ready for a crazy one now?
Ooh, which one?
You can pick.
I don't know if they're crazy. I guess you could go with a rehoming. That one's pretty weird.
Can you just imagine? Okay, I don't think I have the title on this one though, but the title is, Am I the asshole for suggesting my friend rehomes her kid? Oh, I do have the title on this one. So English isn't their first language, but my 22 female friend, 24 female, has a 5-year-old son. That means that she would have had this kid when she was 19. This kid is, to say the least, difficult. She tries therapy, daycare, lots of educational methods, but he's wild, cries a lot, destroys stuff, yells with her. Anyway, you get the picture. The dad pays pension, which I'm assuming is probably the equivalent to child support, but isn't active in their lives, and she doesn't have many family members nearby, so she's pretty much alone most of the time to deal with this. Poor thing is destroyed. Whenever we hang out, it's clear from her physical appearance that she isn't very healthy, and she is always tired and anxious. She takes meds, but her doctor said that unfortunately there isn't much to do because there's nothing wrong with her, it's just an outside factor. It's really painful for me as she's a close friend for many years. So the other day she was in my house while the kid was in daycare. She had a breakdown, started crying, saying she doesn't know what to do anymore. Then this is when I may have been the asshole. I said she tried her best, but maybe it was time to think of more difficult possibilities. To think, like, if there wasn't anyone with whom the kid could stay with while she took care of herself, because she needed to. She looked at me quite shocked and asked, "Are you saying that I should rehome my son like he's a fucking dog?" I said, "No, don't take it that way. I was only saying that maybe it would be better for everyone, including him, that he stays with someone who could deal with him in some ways that you can't." She yelled at me, saying that she couldn't believe I could even suggest such a thing, and how heartless I could be. I tried to apologize, but she stormed out and hasn't talked to me ever since. Some of our friends are saying that I was the ass for suggesting that for a mother, while a few others say that she needed to hear it even if it was hard. She has also since come back and said, most are saying that I should have helped her, and I do. I usually help her with errands, like groceries, pharmacy, picking, dropping off her kid, house chores, and the boy spends most of his day in daycare. I did not suggest that she gives him up to adoption, only that she lets him stay with some relatives or sleep in school while she recuperates. Now, sleep-in schools are like daycares with extended hours, basically. So you can stay there overnight. Like, I know that sometimes, like, I don't think those are very commonplace in America. Maybe they are in bigger cities.
Not here.
Not here.
I just think, again, it was probably miswording of things.
Deliverance.
Yeah.
See, I don't find this to be an asshole move.
I feel like what she should have done is said things like, maybe we can find him like a camp for special needs children he could go to for a little bit.
Yeah.
And done some research to be like, here, I found a few. I can help you pay for it.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of times people have it stuck in their mind that it's one of two ways. Either it's they decided to have the kids, that's their problem, which is somewhat true, but not entirely. And then the other way it goes is like, I don't know, people just think that they need to overcompensate because she's a single parent. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely a balance there, but like, it's exhausting to take care of a kid by yourself and not have anybody that you can just call up and be like, hey, I need a break. Like, that's a hard thing to deal with. And some of it is pride. Like, I can do it myself. But sometimes you can't.
Feeling like you failed.
Yeah, like, oh, other moms do this, why can't I?
I mean, it sounds like the kid might be like autistic or something along.
Yeah, that's very
those-
possible. Well, and again, like, kids in general are just hard.
Because I feel like if the kid was destroying things, crying a lot, yelling, being destructive, as a friend, you wouldn't be like, it's time to just send him away.
I guess it depends on the friend.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you'd be like, I think maybe you should try therapy because something's clearly not right with him.
Yeah.
Like, you need to punish him, you need to, like, parent better. This just sounds like there's nothing that can be done. The kid's just always going to be a little
Have
difficult.
you thought about the Humane Society? I feel like there's some friends I could totally say that to, and they would take it just fine.
Dude, they'd probably ask for the number.
Yeah, touche. So I don't think this is an asshole. Again, I think it's a delivery issue.
Yeah.
Because if I was in this position, I don't know. A lot of times I think fall into a tunnel vision where you can't see other options. Don't think about other options you might have. You see the
'Cause I
worst
feel like-
or the best or combination of.
I feel like this falls under the same category as like when you try to tell someone, hey, I think your kid is ADHD, or I think your kid is OCD, or ... and people are always like, no, you're wrong, and they turn super defensive, and
yeah.
you're like, I'm not saying you failed, I'm not saying they're broken, I'm saying that you might want to look into alternative
Helping them. Because you're both frustrated
parenting
at this
style.
point. You're not helping either of you.
And I feel like this falls in that same category of you have to tiptoe around it
Depending
to
on
get
person.
the same, yeah, to get the same end result of, I think for the sake of your health and your son's health, you need a break.
Well, that goes back to that whole crap. Where some people just can't take criticism. And it's like, I don't know, for me, if I'm criticizing you, first off, I'm not going to be a dick about it. Most people. Some people I probably would be, but for
The people you know can take it.
Yeah. For the most part, like, I'm going to go about it in a nice way and be like, long story short, you're fucking up. Let's come up with a solution. But that's not to instantly be like, you suck as a person, or you're a failure, or... A lot of times it's redirecting perceptions. So what you perceive to be okay is maybe not what I perceive to be okay. And both aren't wrong. But like how you view the world, and it's kind of wild because we both grew up in the same way. We both had two parents that I feel like equally paid us attention, at least as children.
Or at least we didn't notice
Yeah.
as children if they weren't equal.
Like, we grew up in the same environment with the same people around us, but yet the way you and I view the world is entirely different. And some of that is our own life experiences, and some of it is just personality in general. Like, I tend to always want... Well, you do that too, though. Always try to want to find the good in people.
Yeah, I'm a silver lining type of person.
Yeah.
But
Like-
not annoyingly.
Like, toxic positivity.
Yeah, I don't feel like I fall in that category. I know when to let people be in their little dark shadows.
And again, it's okay to be in that place. You just can't
Sometimes
live
be
there.
depressed.
Yeah. Like, it's okay to feel those feelings. You just can't live there. You can't be there forever. And I'll let you be there for a while, but eventually, if I care about you, I'm gonna be like, all right, bud, it's been a few days. What can I do to help you out? So I feel like in this situation, like she says that it was a close friend. Like my close friends, I feel like I can be like, look, you are being a dumb bitch. Let's talk about it.
But I'm like, how how have you let it get to the point of her having a mental breakdown
Yeah.
before you've said something? Because like I said, I probably would have been like, let's start looking into like camp for special needs.
Can you look into that for this year?
No, it's too much work.
Okay. Thanks for your try. So when Katie was
She's
like,
old enough that you can make her look for her own camp.
you have to spend some time outside mowing lawns. Like when Katie was, I don't know, how old was she? 2, I think, maybe 3. She decided to paint her entire body with nail polish. When I tell
Told
you,
her to.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. When I was like, why? Why did you do this? She was like, my body told me to, and I gotta listen to my body. And I'm like, I think you missed that lesson there, bud. But she painted herself with nail polish head to toe. I am a pretty patient person, honestly. I could not. The
Nope.
rage I had towards her in that situation was very scary for me. Like, she had nail polish in her hair, and she had long ass hair. And I was like, I just want to take scissors to it and cut it off, and I just want to throw her in a bath of acetone. Like, I realized that was the point I was at, and that was scary, and I didn't like it. So I called my dad, and I was like, I cannot do this. Like,
Yeah,
I am
Dad
not
and I-
equipped to do this right now.
Dad and I took turns doing like the acetone free nail polish remover on
And
little
then
pads.
lotion. I don't even know how long it ended up taking you guys to get it all done. But like, they came and picked her up, and they went and dealt with that. And I just sat and cried because
I think
that moment I felt like such a failure for allowing this anger and rage to come to the forefront. Like, that makes you feel like such a shitty parent.
I think it took us like 3 to 5
Oh yeah,
hours.
it was a long time. Like, I have never been more upset at her than in that moment. And it wasn't like she was unattended for very long ever. Like, that's just not how I was as a parent. I was not, like, don't get me wrong, she definitely had her fair share of screen time. But we did a lot of stuff, like, I don't know, reading and interacting and whatever. So it wasn't like she was just off doing her own thing all the time. So, like, this whole process was like maybe 10 minutes. Like, I probably went and got in the shower or something like that. And she had painted her entire body. And that was rough. But now,
It was funny after the fact, though.
it was funny after the fact. Like, we still laugh about it. And she, of course, she doesn't pick, like, I think I'll have pink nail polish or green. No, this kid picked, like, Hunter Safety Orange. The fuck? That was a wild day. But I'm like, I feel like you guys could have seen a breakdown coming if I were to get at that point. I would think.
I mean, I like to think that we swooped in a lot when you were, having a hard time and being like, "Okay, we're gonna take your child for a date."
Yeah. But again, it comes back to that whole, I didn't want to pawn my child off on other people because I felt like that was a failure. And I didn't want people to think that I was taking advantage of them by watching my kid. Like, this is my responsibility. I had this child. And even though it's hard, I still have to be the one that's responsible for her. So I don't want to pawn her off on you guys all the time. Because that doesn't seem right. Like, if you wanted kids, you would have kids. So You know what I mean?
It's not a Tamagotchi.
Yeah. Or like mom and dad, like you've already raised your kids. You don't need to raise grandchildren too. I just don't think that that's the right way to be. Again, I understand for some people that works, but I didn't want to be that person. So there was a lot of pride moments where I had to swallow my pride and be like, I just can't right now. And I think, again, like she obviously doesn't have anybody that she can do that with. So find other options that you can do that with. I mean, in my head, that's what makes sense. It'll be wild.
People do be wild.
All right, you got time for one more?
Yeah. We can probably do a few if we go fast. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this is the best,
Mild one.
follow up the last one.
Last week, my niece, 8, stayed with my husband and I and our 2 kids, male 9, male 4, for the week due to my brother and sister-in-law going on a business trip. It was my brother's business trip, but he was allowed to bring my sister-in-law along as like a mini vacation thing, so we babysat their daughter while they were gone. My son and niece go to the same school. Son's in 3rd grade, niece is in 2nd grade. They generally get along great with each other. My husband drives the kids to school and I pick them up. So basically what happened is my son is a very dramatic kid. He's a classic theater kid, but without having the theater outlet at school yet. So we're pretty silly at home because of it, but it's all in good fun. On the last day of school, last week, as they were headed to the car to leave in the morning, my son slowly turned to the screen door, planted his face and arms against it, and quietly screamed, "No!" as he slowly dragged himself down the door to pretend to die on the ground. He's a kid, he didn't want to go to school, and he was being silly. I responded by manically laughing and shouting through the screen door, "Go, suffer the school day, ahaha," as I closed the door on him. Got up, laughed, went to the car. I thought it was all well and good. Well, apparently not, because when my brother and sister-in-law got back, my sister-in-law called me furious and yelled at me about how I traumatized her daughter by telling her to suffer at school and now she doesn't want to go anymore. Said I was being mean by laughing in their face when they had to go to school when I knew they didn't want to. I mean, of course they don't want to, they're kids. I tried to apologize, but she said she was just too mad and didn't want to hear my excuses and hung up. The way their schedule worked was they got back in time to pick her up from school that day. Now, my brother is annoyed at me and said maybe I just shouldn't do that kind of stuff anymore. I thought it was harmless fun, but I don't want to be one of those people who think they're having fun but actually are bullying everyone else. So tell me, am I the asshole for doing
I like to say no because this is our dad.
That's why I wanted to touch on this one.
Like, okay, kudos for not wanting to be the person that's like, don't you just like having fun when clearly you're the only one enjoying yourself?
Right.
But if your son's laughing, clearly you guys already have this dynamic. Sorry that the niece has never had that. Like, I feel like her parents are like sticks up their asses type of people.
Maybe they are.
They're like, she's never had to deal with sarcasm. So hearing like a ha 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 suffer, she like legit believed it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, at 8 years old, she should be able to get those subtleties.
Hey, Fox. I agree. She totally should. And I mean, let's be honest. Like, oh, you were making fun of them because they went to school when they didn't want to? I'm like, bro. And like, even she said, I mean, of course they don't want to go. They're kids. Like, Katie is at the end of her trimester. This is the last week. Now, they are only allowed to miss 6 days of school. And she has hit that limit in her first and second hour. So she wanted to miss, like last Friday, she wanted to miss because she had to go to the doctor. And she wanted to go with her dad to do an oil change in the town over. And so I was like, that's fine. can miss that day, but I'm telling you that if you miss this day, you do not get to complain next week when you don't want to go. Like, you've hit your limit. And that's just how it's gonna be. Like, you can complain about it. That's fine. I get you don't want to go. You know what? I don't want to go to work either. Like,
Well,
I like my job and I like getting a paycheck. I still don't want to go.
what you mean?
I cry
should
a
always
lot
want
in the
to go.
morning into my coffee. I don't want to go to work. Every morning. It's like a 2-hour process. I have to
I do
pep
that
talk
when it-
myself.
I do that when it involves getting out of bed.
And it's cold. That's the
But
worst.
it's warm in here.
Yep.
The dog's in here.
Everyone's happy and comfy. Like, I
All
just
that
don't
waits for me out
know.
there is dishes.
You think kids should get paid to go to school? I wouldn't be opposed to that. But do you think kids should get paid to go to school and they get like a weekly stipend? Or do they get paid and when they're done with school, they get like a lump sum to begin adulthood? I feel like both would have benefit. Monthly stipend, that would work too. I don't know. I was thinking about that because, like, my kid goes to school at 8 o'clock in the morning, and, like, this week, I don't see her until 6 o'clock at night. That kid is working more hours than I am. Some of that's kind of her own fault because she does do extracurriculars, and she's not obligated to do those. She enjoys them, so she does. But that's still only 2 hours a day that she's doing those extracurricular. Everything else is pure schoolwork. Like, she's holding a full-time job.
Yeah, I have no input. I did get paid to go to school by other people, other students.
That's because you were like a Yakuza scammer.
I wasn't scamming. I do
So-
think that it should pay for their lunches. Like, it's stupid that we have to pay for food.
I agree. Well, that's what Lazy Fox is saying. It helps pay for school supplies, food, and if the kid wants to go to events. So here, that's part of their registration fee. Like, not the school supplies, but like the events. They get their activity card, and that allows them to go to any sporting event, any, like, debate, or what other clubs do they have things for?
Prom?
Like, all of that stuff is part of their activity card, and that comes out of their yearly registration fee, which I think the registration fee was $30 this year. Like, where we live, we have a really hard time passing school bonds because people don't want their taxes raised. Now, when we say taxes raised, this is over like a 30-40 year increment of time. So your taxes end up raising, like, I want to
Maybe
say 12.
$2.
Yeah, it's like $12 a year, $24 a year. It's not insane, okay? But people see that big amount of money and they're like, absolutely not. So we really desperately needed a new high school. So they're getting ready to build this high school. It goes up to the public and they get to vote on it and they shut it down. And they said, all right, that's fine. You don't want to pay for this nice high school? That's all right. We can make it cheaper. So what they do is they take the stadium and all the sports stuff off of the school, which dropped the school price like by a third. I mean, it was a substantial savings for taxpayers, right? But then the parents that are in this school boundary are like, wait, what about football? And they're like, right. So we don't get to have it both ways because we have to have this school. You're not willing to pay this amount. the first things that have to go are extracurricular things. So if you don't want to pass this bond, that's fine. You don't have to. But then we're not going to have a brand new football stadium for all the high school kids to play at. That shit passed so quick. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. But like, in Sweden, at the end of your 12-year prison sentence, school, you get $10,000. See, I think that would be beneficial just to help you get into adulthood, because there really is no support in that transition, right? From school to adulthood. It's like throwing a kid off the dock and being like, guess you're learning to swim, bud.
Dude, I just feel like everything here in like America is just, no, you pay us to suffer.
Yeah. You don't like to pay for your suffering?
No.
Oh, so it's throughout the year, so it's paid monthly. See, I think that's a very interesting concept, and I think it would probably help as far as responsibility of money in general, right? Like, you get X amount of dollars every month, but that's to feed you for the entire month too. Like, I feel like that could probably teach some pretty decent skills.
Yeah.
No.
Teach people, what it's like to make money.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing at our high school. We have a bank inside of our high school. It's a credit union, and juniors and seniors can apply to work at the school bank. And it's like a legit bank. There's branches outside. Like, it's a legit bank. They can apply to work at the bank during their junior and senior year. They get paid a wage to do that, but then they also get that 2 years of work experience that they can now turn around and use on a resume, which I thought was really cool of them to do. Like, we didn't have that when we were kids, but
no,
my kid will have that.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I took a college credit for economics,
Mm-hmm.
and when I went to college, it didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like, our high school filled out the paperwork wrong, so I just lost college credit. Like, stupid bastards. I hated that teacher too. Like, she made us do like a weird art project, and we weren't allowed to use real scissors. We had to use kid scissors. And she had to sit at our table when we used glue. I'm like, I am a senior.
Was it the same lady that looks like the thing from Monsters, Inc.?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this lady was married at one point to one of Mom's coworkers.
Oh.
So, like, Mom knew her.
I think I might know who you're talking
yeah,
about.
she treated us like we were, like, 4-year-olds. And I refused to do the project, and she told me I was going to fail. I'm like, do it. Let's see how far this goes, because I am not using safety scissors and no glue.
I like safety scissors. They make me safe. Safety is #1 priority. You had a class that was taxes and banking. We did not have that.
I mean, I had a class that taught me how to write checks.
Yeah, I did that. Glue is yum yum and you sniff markers.
In all actuality, I knew someone that did actually eat glue, and he was in AP government. He made it through the book so quickly that he just got bored, came over to our, like, dumb government class. He had memorized the book. So we were allowed to take tests in groups of 4. We're like, hey, buddy, we're part nerds of our group. So he would just do the test, and we just copy off of him because he had it all memorized. It was the best year.
I'm trying to remember who I had for government. But I didn't hate that class. I only took 2 classes my senior year.
Hey, me too.
Yeah. Like, the way they did credits is could finish off everything, but there were certain things that you had to take in certain grades. So, like, there was an English class for ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and you were obligated to take one, like, those. And then you had to take so many PE classes, so many math classes, so many science classes, so many history classes. But there was no stipulation as to how you got that done. So if you would rather take 4 history classes instead of taking your electives, that was fine.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Like, I busted out all my classes, so I just had to go to English and government, and that was it my entire senior.
In speech.
Oh, it wasn't a mandatory class. It was just like on the corner of the page of the back. Gotcha. That makes sense.
Because I was going to say, I think government was like half a year, and then speech was the other half.
Oh,
And then you had
maybe.
English all
Maybe.
year long.
Yeah. English you had to take.
And my speech class, oh, chef's kiss.
Oh, I hated
was-
mine.
Oh, no. So the lady was the debate coach.
Yeah, that's who I had too, and she was a fucking bitch to me.
Oh, yeah. She was notoriously a bitch. But we were her last class of her last year.
Oh, so she
And
gave no shit.
She told us right from the get-go that she was damn determined to ace everyone in her final class. So we did nothing. We left class early. We just bullshitted all day. It was glorious.
That lady, though, was a pit bull.
Oh,
she
she
was not nice.
And like she loved all of us in her last class, so she like would stand up to us, like for us, for like any other teacher if she saw us having trouble. It was glorious. I love that lady, but I know why other people did not.
Like, I'm trying to deliver a speech, and she's just yelling at me because my eye contact's not good enough.
Yeah. She did not
Oh.
care.
And, like, I don't have a fear of public speaking. Like, getting up in front of people and talking does not bother me. At all. I don't care if it's 2 people or 2,000 people. I don't care. So when she was just, like, yelling in my face like a drill sergeant, I'm like, I'm gonna cry. I hate it here. We notoriously do not equip our kids with anything to come out of school. Like,
Nope.
basic life skills. Right? Like, when did you learn how to change a tire?
When Grandpa taught us?
Hmm?
Yeah, our school system is set up for kids to forget. Like long breaks, so you can forget whatever you learned throughout the year.
But there were no life skill classes where they're like, hey, we'll teach you how to set up a bank account and do your taxes and apply for jobs. Like, when's the first time that you ever had to do a resume? And when you had to do that resume, did you know what you were doing?
Well, kind of, because I had to do that for college.
Well, I taught that class, remember? When I went to college, I taught that class to the homeless people.
Yeah.
About resume building and job applications. Like, I went to school full-time, I worked full-time, and then I taught classes at the college too. Struggle. But one of the classes that I taught was how to apply for jobs. Like, that's what this class was. And we went from the start of applying for a job, doing the application, the resume, and how, like, healthy interview tactics. Like, I taught this to grown-ass adults who are in anywhere between their 20s and their 60s that honestly did not know these skills. Like, we just don't prepare kids for anything after high school. And it's funny because we tell our kids, like, oh, well, you know, you have to go to school. Like, I tell my kid's in middle school right now, and I'm like, you have to go to middle school because that's preparing you for high school. And then high school turns around and prepares you for work. But it doesn't. I mean, it kind of does, but not really. Like, once you get out of high school,
sit at a desk for 8 hours.
Yeah. I mean, we're not doing any favors.
I mean, it does teach you how to socialize, I guess.
It does do that. Or
Some of
it
us
teaches you
that
that
class.
you hate hate kids, hate friends, hate people.
Yeah, I learned that too. And then you learn important things like you're not supposed to bite people, pull hair.
Punch people in the mouth when they say stupid shit.
We didn't learn that lesson because we never got caught.
The most they taught you was how to make spaghetti. So we did have some home ec classes that could take, but they were not mandatory. Most people took them anyway just because you got to eat free. Like, but
It's okay. We don't judge. We can't spell spaghetti either.
you just add the G and the H in the middle and then just add some vowels on either side and a couple of T's and you're good.
I just call it angel hair. Everyone knows what you mean.
Or Getty.
Or just go with pasta.
Yeah, see, I would totally read that as spaghetti though. Like, as long as you're somewhat phonetically correct, it's totally fine.
I can't do phonetics, so
I got you. Got you.
it's all good. I'm broken.
Yeah, but think of how many words you know. Because you had to.
2? Yeah.
Fuck you.
Oh, 4.
Yeah, home ec was totally just you could take it if you wanted.
Because they were like, oh, I see here that you don't take seminary. Would you like to sign up for the parent planning class?
You're like,
No.
no to either of those.
No, I would not.
I didn't take that
it would be
either.
beneficial for you. You'll learn how to take care of children. What the hell are you trying to tell me?
You're like, hard no.
And like one of my friends, she wanted to take woodshop and they were like, I don't know, woodshop's not really a girl class. And she's like, yeah, I don't care. Like, our school was messed up.
So you're 14 and they have this class? Okay, so let me tell you what my kid was allowed to take as electives. She's kind of limited because she likes to play in the orchestra. So that takes 3 of her spots. But the classes that they had were ridiculous. Like, they had to take a PE class just once in 3 trimesters, which is wild to me. But they could take outdoor survival. What?
I mean, that's kind of cool.
Lifetime
Like
sports.
your child needs that.
My kid does. Well, my kid kind of knows how. Not
Wow.
well, but
She learned what not to do firsthand.
yeah. We left her in the woods for like 2 months. But
I mean, she so.
there was that. They might have home ec cooking class. They might have that. They had theater and tech theater, language classes, yoga, lifetime sports. Which lifetime sports is badass. I don't know if that's an option where you are, but if it is, that's. But they don't really, like, they didn't have wood shop. None of that. Like, it was all really niche, weird things. I'm like, what the hell? Robotics, programming, lots of computer stuff. 3D printing.
I don't remember having like elective classes until high school.
Yeah, she gets a ton of options.
Like, we
Wild.
had the elective classes, but it was more like every 2 weeks you had to switch. So like you did theater for 2 weeks and then you did art for 2 weeks.
Just to figure out what you wanted to do.
Yeah, that was in middle school, but we weren't like allowed to pick.
Yeah.
that was just preparing us for high school.
Yeah, this wasn't like our middle class. This is like, or middle school. This is my kids. So like a lot has changed. But it's still like, I don't know. I was pretty stuck in my ways. So I was pretty specific. Like I always did art. Did guitar. Trying to think what else I did for electives.
Spanish.
Yeah, I did take Spanish.
I was so pissed off about that.
And then, oh, I did a lot of dancing. Did ballroom dancing. That was really it. Like, I didn't take a bunch of home ec classes or childcare classes.
I did home ec and interior design.
Ooh, I did take
That's
that
pretty cool.
actually.
And sewing.
I didn't do that one.
I made my own prom outfit and it was amazing.
It was amazing.
And that's the only reason I took that class, because I was like, haha, I can sew and it counts as an elective.
Hmm?
And it was better than PE.
Yeah,
And I took Spanish because the year before I made it to high school, they stopped Japanese class. Or else I would have taken that in a heartbeat.
Okay. So, my kid is stupid smart in math, okay? So, my kid is in 7th grade. She is taking a 10th grade math class. She has to do it online because she's not at the high school. So, I help her with her math, and it's rough. I'm not gonna lie. But I know it, but I have to like refresh my brain on how to do a lot of it. But the new math is actually not a new math. New math is actually really old math.
Yeah, it's how it was taught, like, in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
like, our in-laws taught us that math, so that's how we did it growing up.
Yeah, like, okay, my grandpa came over on a boat from Germany with his family. Like, they landed in Ellis Island. So, like, the German side of our family is very strong, and that's how they did math. Like, they were taught how to do math like that from kindergarten. And, like, do you remember our great-grandpa? That man was kind of scary.
No, I just remember his farm, because that gigantic goddamn grasshopper jumped on my face, and I still have problems with grasshoppers.
Did it jump on your face, or did I throw it
Yeah.
on your face?
No, it jumped on my face, and
okay.
I ran screaming to mom and dad, and they just laughed at me, and then eventually jumped on a cat.
So this
now-
man spoke very fluent German, had a very thick German accent, but he was old and he would fall asleep while watching TV. And then when we were up there as kids, we would change the channels so we could watch like Sesame Street or something. And he would wake up and yell at you in German. You had no idea what he was saying. And you're like, okay, I'm sorry. Please don't shoot me. But yeah, so like we grew up learning how to do math that way. So it's really not weird. Like, the way my brain dissects math problems is probably weird.
I mean, it's weird for people around here.
Mm-hmm. But I can also now do a lot of math in my head where I don't need a calculator because of it.
And that used to get me in trouble because I had to take math tests during lunch because the teacher's like, you're not showing your work, so I don't know how you got here, and I can do it in my head, so I know you can't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, you're
Dumb as shit.
like, I don't need to write out 1 + 1 = 2 to just jump to 2. Let's just skip that part.
Yeah. So, yeah, new math is not, I don't know. it makes sense in my head. Like after you learn it, you're like, all right, all right.
I do understand that it is way different than how it's taught in school.
Mm-hmm. Vastly different.
We lucked out. We
Got
got to learn it as children, so it's just stuck in our heads.
Yeah. And I feel like with kids nowadays, that's how it is too. Like that's how they were taught in first grade. So now it's like, yeah, that's just how we do it.
It's kind of like phonics. That's new too.
You don't like the phonics?
No. But like mom didn't learn with phonics. Her school didn't teach her that way.
Yeah. Maybe it was like a
Stupid.
bad thing. Remember that talking troll thing? You just drew a picture of you thinking of math for your show the work. I like it. I have
just
some
refused to show my work, so I would have to go in during lunch. I also had my dad called in once, and that man can do math.
Yeah.
Oh dear Jesus.
I hated that so much.
I just never responded until he gave me the answer.
Did you get 42? Yes. Yep.
That's 27 times 9 divided by 13, add 8. Did you get 56?
Yeah.
Sure did.
But he wasn't actually asking you. He just wanted like the validation and the working through it part audibly. Like he would be talking about doing these math equations in his head, like out. Like we'd be driving down the road and he would be going off for like 7 minutes. And then he'd be like, all right, were you paying attention? Did you keep track of all those numbers? And you're like, yep, sure did. I quit listening 2 hours ago. I have no idea what you've said.
I used to try to keep up. And then I just got lazy.
I couldn't. I wanted to, but I couldn't.
It keeps your brain young.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, that's like how I do math roundup. So that, I don't know, to me that's easier. Or like, if you're trying to figure out percentages off of things, I always try to do it in tens, because tens are easy percentages. But see, like, if you did 27 plus 9, it would turn into 26 plus 10. But you just do that shit in your head. You don't need to write it down.
I always hate it when I'm like, here's the answer. And then someone else looks at you and is like, how did you get that? And you try to explain and they just look at you like you're dumb.
And you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna try to explain it. We have a pretty decent sized family. Let's see. When everyone was alive. That sounded really fucked up, which is not how I meant it.
Well, I mean, we did kind of have a lot of death.
Yeah.
In a short amount of time.
So there's like 20 of us?
We're at 24 now.
Yeah.
24 to 26. So there was probably almost 30.
And like, these are people that we get together with on a regular basis. Like, all of us.
Like, this is Sunday dinner.
Yeah. So we're all super close. And as far as I know, there is only one of us that is left-handed.
No. There is 2.
Who's the other one?
Huh? She was mom.
Oh, but she corrected herself.
Well, she didn't.
Well,
The
I know.
teachers did. But she still does certain things left-handed.
Yeah.
So technically she is left-handed.
That's it for our family of
I always
30.
give our aunt shit for being one of the mirror people.
We're kind of mean to people in our family because we're like, haha, you're stuck with me. So, like, because she's left-handed, she gets her own special spot at the table so that you don't have her elbow in your food while you're trying to eat.
I mean, I feel like that's nice.
That's nice.
Because we're also not elbowing her.
Yeah. Because elbow to elbow just doesn't work. I mean, it should, but it doesn't.
Well,
Everyone just gets pissed off.
it wasn't that long ago. She came, she had to, like, make a package to mail. And
Yeah.
so she was, like, cutting tape and shit. And I forgot she was left-handed. So she's holding the scissors upside down. I'm like, dude, you're using my scissors pretty fucked up. And she's like, yeah, because I'm left-handed. I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. I shut up now.
We don't kink shame. It's 2023.
Dude, elbow to elbow is how we hug in our family.
Yeah. We don't do hugs. So
Physical contact.
Like, if somebody hugs you, it's because somebody died. Like, legit. So, like, when we see each other, or if we're getting ready to leave, we just bump elbows. Like, alright, see you next time. I don't think we have anybody that judges and complains how we're eating. Not anymore. Yeah.
We did. She died.
Yeah, she died a long time ago, though. Like, 10 years ago?
She would also be like, hey, you want a brownie? And you're like, no, I'm good. She's like, but it's a really good brownie. You're like, no, I'm fine. Come on, you know you want it. You're like, fine, I'll take the brownie. She's like, why? It's gonna make you fat.
Yeah. We have some very abusive people in our family. Or like if you were drinking a soda around them. As she would crack her Coke too.
It was Diet Coke.
No, I think she drank real Coke, right?
I don't remember.
She did. Probably with cocaine in it. Yeah. But she was nasty. Like, weight was a big deal to her. I'm like, I don't even know why you care. It affects you zero.
I remember she cared about engagement rings because it shows how much they love you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think that does. That shows how much money they have. That's it.
Or how stupid they are with impulse control.
It's
I
okay.
bought you a $15,000 ring. You did what now? Take that shit back right now.
We didn't even pay for rings.
Yeah.
They were given to us. Oh yeah, see, our dad did that too. We just chalked that up as joking.
I have a cute little dinosaur ring. It turns your finger green, but it's pretty neat.
So I didn't say, I think our dad would tell me all the time that I drink like a horse.
Oh yeah.
It just never seemed hurtful.
I'll do that to Katie. Like, Katie drinks really fast sometimes. I'll be like, God damn, were you thirsty? But I don't try to, like, shame anybody. That's an allergic reaction. It's a body chemistry thing. So it's fake metal. If you could not use that word.
Slurp?
I hate that word so much.
Would you rather someone say slurp or moist?
Moist.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know
Your
why, but
cousin's
like
wife hates that word. She can't even read it.
slurp sound like it tastes gross in my mouth. I can't explain that. What? I don't like it. Ooh, Bigfoot works in VR? That'll be exciting.
It's okay. I'll use the word slurp all the time now.
I don't know why. It's just, it feels gross in my mouth. There's not very few words that, like, bother me a lot, but slurp. Slurp?
It's just after I found out that our cousin's wife hates the word moist, like, she can't even read it. It just makes her skin crawl. I'm like, I'm gonna use it everywhere. Can I have a glass of water? I just really need something moist.
Bonus points, though, if you say it in the certain way.
Oh no, that's exactly how I said it to
Yeah.
her after I found out. She was not impressed.
If you make awkward eye contact, even better.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you are, like, marrying into our family, like, if that's your end goal, you better buckle up. Like,
yeah.
nobody is nice.
No. We pretend. We pretend very well. That being said, though, we do not let other people
Yeah.
be mean to each
100%.
Like, I can call you a dumb whore, but if
Yeah.
someone else would do that, I would punch them.
Exactly. And, like, I think it kind of becomes a game. Like, oh, you're bringing a girlfriend over, are you?
Yeah.
Wonder how long this will take to break. I got 20 minutes.
We'll be back.
Like, my mom's new boyfriend. Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
we have broken that poor man so many times.
Not nice to him at all. But then he calls up and he's like, can you come over and move some stuff for me? And we're like, yes, I guess. Yeah, like family, like you can bully your family, but you can't just have strangers. That's not okay.
My favorite, though, was when we had that awkward conversation. Like, would you kiss your cousin? Full tongue.
Oh my
makeout
fuck. I forgot about that.
for
That was
$1
like
million. And our cousin was like, no. And I'm like, sign me up. Which one of you's gonna do it? Like, you give me $1 million, I will tongue kiss someone.
in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner. I'm like, hey, I got a question. Would you tongue kiss? Or no, I was like, first off, who's your favorite cousin? And they all go around the table like they're telling what they're grateful for. Like, oh yeah, cousin Steve. He's my favorite. Oh, no, not Steve. I like Jenny. Like, totally going around the table, picking out their favorite cousins. I was like, okay, now that you have your favorite cousin, would you tongue kiss them for $1 million? And they're like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to talk about on Thanksgiving. I don't want to know what you're grateful for. I just want to know if you would tongue kiss your cousin. My cousin's girlfriend. Okay, my cousin's wife was not fucking impressed at all.
No, she also didn't like it when I said there was a loophole because she's my cousin. So I would totally like French kiss her for $1 million, and she was not okay with that. She wouldn't sit next to me afterwards.
My cousin's girlfriend goes, hold up. Are we sharing this money? And I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, all right. You just tell me what time you need him there. Yeah, Hills Have Eyes Kiwi Edition. I just like to know these things about people. This is how I build my apocalypse team. Like now, when my other cousin is like, shit's hitting the fan, do you want to group up? I'll be like, no, because you said you wouldn't tongue kiss your cousin, and I'm not about that. That seems like betrayal to me.
Dude, speaking of the Elvis movie, Kissing Cousins, you remember when our cousin... Okay, so we had a cousin on my dad's side who decided to date this girl who was a cousin on our mom's side. So technically they were both our cousins, but they weren't related to each other. So I changed my phone, so every time one of them would call or text me, it played Kissing Cousins, and they were not impressed. Not impressed at all.
I think it's hilarious.
They didn't last long either.
Like, I just feel like it weeds people out.
I just feel like it makes for a stronger family bond.
Yeah,
You need to know important things about each other.
it's true. But there is definitely a line to cross where you're like, all right, well, no. I don't want to know about that.
Our family crosses it constantly.
I don't like that part.
I
Like
like
it-
how they're willing to tell us things that we're like, ew, no, now I need bleach in my eyes, in my brain hole, clean it out. And yet they're like, how could you ask me to French kiss my cousin? I'm
Right?
like, that was innocent. Do you know what I know about you?
I just feel like there is a price for everything. Family tree's so close knit it looks like a wreath.
Dude, I had a friend who her family tree was so tied back to itself. She literally took a family tree with her when she was dating to make sure that it was someone new.
Again, we live in a very small town.
Luckily,
and-
our family has not been here for very long. Like, none of our family.
Yeah. Like, again, our family immigrated in the 1930s. So,
Both
like,
sides.
yeah.
Mom's side and dad's
Yeah.
side. So luckily, our families came from completely different countries, so they couldn't mix too much.
In Misery, yeah, we live in Misery. It's right next to Hell. It's currently frozen over. Would not
is.
recommend a visit.
And I like to say that it's BFE.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing around. Like, the next biggest city, probably 3 hours away.
Yeah. Like, it's not uncommon that going to the grocery store, you will see someone you know.
Oh, yeah. And they'll know stuff about you that you didn't know about you.
I hate it.
Like,
I
oh
hate
shit,
it
your
here.
mom was in a car wreck? You're like, my mom was what?
I mean, that's not hard for us. I don't think we'd know if our mom was in a car wreck.
No, probably not. Probably not.
We're bad, bad children.
It's not us. Just throwing that out there.
I like to think it's not us.
I don't think.
We talk to each other.
That's all that matters. Like, our dad definitely held the family together, and now that he is no longer living,
Our mom's batshit crazy.
yeah, that's an understatement.
Like the
Ooh.
time that she's like, I got this tattoo because in my dream, your dad had this same tattoo. So I knew I had to get one.
Yeah?
The fuck?
I never realize how crazy our family is until we start talking like this, and I'm like, holy shit, dude. I mean, I suspected, but when you really get it out there in the world, you're like,
This is why I always thought we should have gone into like being comedians.
I always joke though, like, most of my life, I can't make up. I wish I could, but the craziest shit happens to me. Like, I'm not even shitting you. 2 weeks ago, my mom calls me. And I don't talk to my mom very often. She calls me and she's like, hey, So if you didn't know somebody's parents, how would you get a hold of them? The parents. Like, do you have the person's full name? Well, yeah. I'm like, well, then I would probably go, like, on Ancestry, I guess. Because at least then you would, like, get a family tree and you could probably track somebody down, I would think. I don't know. I don't really make a point of figuring out who my friends' parents are because I know my friends' parents. But whatever. So she's like, okay. I'll call you back later. I'm like, okay. So then she calls later, and her boyfriend's there, and he's like, well, since your mom's not gonna tell you, I'll tell you. There was a dead girl in my apartment, and we're trying to find her parents. I'm like, what the fuck? All right.
Come on now. That's just a normal Tuesday.
It is, though. Like, I got another call last year, and they're like, is this blah, 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 my government name? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, do you know how to get a hold of this person's family? I was like, what? And the person they were referring to was my uncle on my dad's side. And he's kind of estranged. Like, he moves states and hasn't talked to any of us. But he has a bad habit of leaving debts where he goes. And so, like, it's not uncommon to get a call from a debt collector, right? So that's what I thought this was this dude calling to be like, hey, John owes us money. We need it. And I was like, dude, I have not talked to this dude in fucking 5 years. I don't know where he is. And they're like, oh, no. We know where he is because we're the city's police department and we found him and his wife dead in their apartment and we can't get a hold of their next of kin, but we found your phone number. I'm like, what the fuck? So now I have to track down his adult children who I have not spoken to and let them know that their parents are dead. What? Like, what?
Only even better because he didn't actually adopt the children.
Mm-hmm.
So the children we got a hold of didn't have legal claim to him.
I did.
Like, it was weird.
They're like, do you want to release your rights to that? Yeah, what? No, like, my life is crazy. He didn't kidnap him. He married their mom, but never legally adopted the boys. So then they grew up, and obviously, like, you don't adopt adult children. Like, you can, but you just typically don't. So he had a bunch of other children from other marriages that he just bailed out on. And so we got a hold of...
to do with him?
Yeah, so we got a hold of them because technically, as the firstborn children of his, they would have rights to his body. And they were like, we don't want him. And I'm like, well, I don't fucking want him.
And the poor kids that did couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
It eventually worked itself out.
But it was a wild couple weeks.
This is why you don't share your phone number with people.
Obviously. And I was not nice to this police officer because I thought he was a debt collector. And then when he was like, I'm with the city police department, I'm like, God damn it. I feel bad. You're just doing your job. You've probably had a shitty day. Now I just feel like garbage. Thank you.
Maybe you would have made his day if you told him to go slurp some coffee.
Oh, thank you. Why do I get calls of family that have died? I honestly don't entirely know, but...
She won the lottery there?
Yeah. Like, my name was just, and phone number was just tied to him somehow. So they called me, because they couldn't find, like, his biological children. Because they have no ties to him. So I don't know, like, pretty fucking wild. But
we were shocked when you got that call because we're like, why you? Why you of all people?
it was wild. I had to call my aunt, his sister, and I was like, what do I do with this? I don't even know. Nobody prepared me to be this caliber of adult. Like, you need to find a more adult because I ain't it.
But we knew who to call.
I did, and we did make that happen, and that worked out just fine. But it was a struggle to like figure out everyone's phone numbers. Yeah, he goes in for dessert and skips out on tomorrow's breakfast. This man was not great.
Okay, see, when we were children, he just like left one morning, and then we found out later he had moved to Alaska, where he lived off the grid making his own guns and his own clothes for years.
And then he met his wife and they fell in love. And
And
they
decided to
moved
come
home.
home. So it is not uncommon for him to just disappear.
And that was totally how it was. Like, when he moved states, he just like packed his shit and left. Like, that was the end of it. He had a mortgage and a house and he was like, fuck it, don't care.
Yeah, we find out that he's gone because we got calls from debt collectors being
Mhm.
like, where are you at? And we're like,
Fuck no.
I don't know.
Probably at home. Yeah, I don't know. He's
Our
wild.
family's like backwards E Batman symbol at sign inside special.
But it makes for entertaining stories, which I think is important.
It built character.
It did. It puts you like in full-on survival mode in all situations.
I mean, and the way that our family is, like, we do like mind games with each other to see who can outsmart the other.
Mhm.
So then when other people are like, I'm going to try to get information from you, we're like, nah, no, I know what you're doing, shut up.
Or like just passive aggressive stuff. Like, our family is, I'm
They
pretty
take the
sure
crap.
they like wrote the book on passive aggressiveness.
I love it because they're like, oh, it'd be really nice if someone would help me with this. Yeah, it would be nice if someone would help you with that. You're right.
Oh, it's 100% manipulation. But it'll be like everyone, like, people will be crying and screaming about how nobody's helping cook dinner. I'm not nice either, so I just look at them and I'm like, all you have to do is use your big kid words and ask for help. Which just pisses people off more. I'm like, communication is key. People can't help you fulfill your needs if they don't know what your needs are.
See, I don't even tell people to use their words. I'm just like, you are correct. No one is helping you. You are right. It would be nice if they would help.
Or like, if you ask somebody in our family to do something, like, would you like to go put the clothes in the dryer? 100% everyone is going to say no. Because nobody wants to do that. So you just have to tell people, hey, would you go put the clothes in the dryer? You're like, yeah.
Dude, I got yelled at work one time because they were like, would you like to mow this hill by
You're
the
like,
door?
I would
and
rather
I'm like,
fucking not.
no, I do not want to do that. I will. And the dude yelled at me and told me that that's not how you talk at work. I'm like, don't ask me questions of how I feel.
That's
I
what I'm
gave an
saying.
honest answer.
Like, no, just tell me what to do. Don't ask me if I'd like to do something, because the answer is going to be no. Unless it's like, go get a snow cone. Then the answer's probably going to be yes.
Except for right now. I don't want a snow cone right now.
I don't know, I would take a snow cone even right now.
No, because I have to leave my house to go get it. and it's crap outside.
Because it's gonna snow. But surprise!
But if someone else were to be like, hey, I'm going out for snow cones, would you like me to bring you one? I'd be like, yes. Yes.
All right, let's do this last one. This last one is like batshit crazy. All right, like I don't think y'all are prepared for the craziness. Oh yeah, we don't really have people in our family that are demanding. Like they might be backhandedly demanding, but not like to your face rude demanding. Like that doesn't happen. Because everybody would shut that shit down.
Yeah. That's why we've learned to manipulate each other.
Yeah. Like, is it healthy? Absolutely not. Do I know how to destroy every member of my family? Yes. I don't think you're ready for crazy. This one is crazy, crazy.
This is coming from people that we have established are crazy. Just remember that.
Like, the bar is pretty high. Would I be the asshole if I told my friend's daughter that her mom led a cult? One of my male closest friends, female, Beth, died 20 plus years ago due to an illness. We met through work and I became extremely close to her, both her and her husband, Ted, much younger, closer to my age. I was one of a group of friends that formed a close-knit group of men devoted to Beth. She had very strict rules about what was and wasn't acceptable behavior in order to be in her inner circle, and Ted often referred to her as a priestess. FYI, it was a gradual progression which made it seem normal. I didn't fully realize it at the time, but I think had suspicions that it was a cult, which I now know it was. Beth had a daughter, Meg, who was 20 from a previous marriage, who did not live at home and was not privy to the nature of the relationships we had with her mother, which were very intimate and sexual. All Meg saw was the adoration and attention we gave her mom, especially Ted, who doted on her. Her bio dad was in the picture, but he was pretty clueless as to what was going on. I maintained a friendship with Meg after Beth's passing, but everyone else in the group went no contact with her as well as with each other, including Ted, and she still had no idea why. Meg is now in her 40s, very, very single. She has told me that she would like a relationship like the one her mom and Ted had, but I also know that Meg has absolutely no idea what was going on. Part of me feels guilty for not saying anything so that she can try to get a healthy perspective on relationships and understand why everyone went no contact with her. I am concerned that by doing that, I will taint the memory she has of her mother, as they were close. I also know that Beth did not want her to know, so I would feel guilty about betraying her. This has been haunting me for a very long time, or after all these years. Should I just let sleeping dogs lie? I feel like there's a lot to unpack here. You would tell her, I would not.
I think it would depend on Beth's personality. Or, I mean, Meg's personality.
Like, I keep trying to, like, put my mom in this position. I don't know. Like, I feel like if my mom died when I was 20 years old, like, I'm already an adult, right? I've already got my own life, doing my own thing. She wasn't living at home with her mom. So, like, I don't know if you've lost a parent. Like, we talk a lot of shit on my mom. I'm not gonna discount that. But, like, our dad and I had a very close relationship. You had a close relationship with dad. Like,
yes.
Our dad was our world and he died unexpectedly. But I have this pristine picture of who my dad was, like, ingrained in my brain, right? So if someone now came to me and was like, oh yeah, by the way, your dad was in a sex cult, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, I wouldn't want to know that. Like, I would rather be kept in the dark in that situation. Because I feel like, I don't know, like I just have this pristine
feel
picture.
like he's trying to tell her though, because she wants a relationship like what her mom and
Ted?
husband had.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, you kind of need to let her know, like, what they had was not healthy, honey.
Right. Like there were things going on in the
Like, you
background
kind
that you
of
didn't
have to
know.
explain a lot more.
I guess that's true though, because it does sound like he is close to Meg. Like he's maintained a friendship with her. So that would probably help too. Because yeah, if someone was close to me, I would be less upset about that. But I still think that would like fuck you up. To find out your mom was in a sexual cult. Like that would be weird shit. And I don't know that at 40 years old, like 20 years have gone past. So I feel like one of two things. One, either you don't fucking care anymore. So even the information itself would be like, whatever. Or it would be like completely devastating because you thought your parent was this person and it turns out they weren't. And I think that would be kind of rough. Also, like, fuck Ted for not, like, keeping in contact with anybody.
Like, as the husband.
Yeah, like, alright. That's kind of weird.
Like, I find it weird that Ted has no contact with Meg.
Yeah, like, even, like, I'll send you a birthday card once a year. Alright?
But, like, I think it's one of those things that you just need to, like, slowly approach. Like,
Test
I think
the
eventually
waters.
it eventually needs to be, like, brought up, I feel like. But yeah, be like, huh, did you ever think about the relationships your mother had with so many men?
Like, didn't you think it was weird there were 7 of us at the house all the time?
How do you feel about polygamy? Are
If
you
you're
okay with it?
if your family friend came up, you and said that your mom was in a sex cult, you'd be like, all right, yeah, that's believable. Gotcha. All right. I cannot see that with my mom.
Oh,
My
no.
mom would be in a cult, no doubt.
I
No
would not
doubt about
question
that.
that.
Yeah.
But she's like, no physical contact.
Mm-hmm. And if she were quote unquote the leader of the cult, nah, not organized enough. That would
No.
not go.
She's a follower.
Yeah. Like if she were just in a cult, like I could see that.
Yeah, I would not question that one bit.
Yeah.
But she definitely is not a leader.
Mm-mm.
She's a follower.
Yeah.
Like, even when she, like, dresses weird, like, I'm gonna wear bunny ears because it's Wednesday and I feel like it. It's only because you and I have been like, you know what I want to do? I want to wear rabbit ears today. And she's like, oh, me too, I have some.
Yeah. Your talents will be recognized and suitably rewarded. I don't know. Like, I feel like my VTuber is like a pretty spot on representation of how I am in real life.
Personality-wise, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd take the time to do ringlets in your hair.
Sometimes. Very rarely. Like, if I was going out, yeah. Like, I'm totally rocking a messy bun right now. And I'm wearing pajamas, so.
I feel like my little dude represents me very well with my smug little face. Sitting pretty, getting ready to devour my croissant.
I gave you croissants, but I took the cookies.
Oh, that's fine.
But I did give you a boba.
As I deserve.
I know, that's what we should do tomorrow is,
Ooh, if we can go to the fancy
Mhm.
noodle shop.
Yeah.
They have really...
Boba sounds really...
You would have to take time off from work.
Alright.
You can go with me to my vet appointment.
Yes.
Tell your boss it's
It's an
mandatory.
emergency. I have a family emergency. I got to take my sibling's dog with them to the vet, and then we gotta stop and get a boba.
It's
My
important.
boss will be like, yeah.
It's important. You have to treat yourself for adulting.
Lazy, oversized hoodie. Yeah, I feel that too. Like, I work from home, so I have no need to get dressed. You just don't. Like, even when I have meetings and stuff. No, the dog's not dying. The dog had surgery, and the dog has to go get her stitches out. She's
It's a
not
happy
dying.
day.
Yeah, it's a good day. It's like a follow-up appointment.
She gets to stop wearing a cone and a shirt.
Yeah.
She can roll on the ground again and scratch her ear.
Yeah, it's not like a dire vet appointment. It's a good vet appointment.
Sorry, did not mean to cause panic. The dog is fine.
She's doing like really well though, considering she just had surgery a week ago. Like not even a week ago. Just shy.
12 days. It was 11 days today.
Oh, right, today's only Tuesday. I'm a couple days behind. I'm sorry.
Yep, she gets her stitches out 12 days after surgery, which is tomorrow. I was just excited because we thought she had cancer, and then we got the test results, and she's fine. So
Yeah,
it's all
so-
good.
It's a happy day. What do you have going on for tomorrow? I feel like a lot of people are excited for tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a good day.
Yeah, I see that. It's my meeting day, so...
No, I was excited it wasn't cancer.
The cancer scare was there, so...
She had 2 spots they thought were cancer. We sent them into a big lab, and they came back as just fatty cells. So she's all good.
That's exciting. That she
That's why
doesn't
she
have
had
cancer.
surgery.
Wow.
Was we wanted to get the bumps off before they grew too big.
Ooh, you're gonna make music demos? That sounds super exciting.
See, tomorrow's an amazing day.
It is gonna be an amazing day. Y'all, I'm gonna have to live vicariously through you because I have to go to meetings.
No, you have to go to the vet, remember? You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
go to your
Oh, yeah.
meetings.
I'm gonna let
need
my
your
boss
support.
know.
You're my emotional support human.
I like it. I wonder if she would buy that. Actually, my boss is really cool, so she probably would. Probably be fine with that.
I'm sure Cheza's just hoping that it's peanut butter day at the vet because she went one time and they gave her peanut butter. And she thought that was the best visit ever.
Now she's sold.
She likes the vet. She's weird.
I mean, she has no reason not to, really.
Nope, they give her snacks and tell her she's cute. Like, if that's how it was when I went to the doctor, I probably would go more.
Touché. Yeah, that's the bonus of being your own boss. Oh man, I got a two-week vacation coming up.
It's mandatory.
Call it work training.
I have to learn how to get along with my coworkers.
Some of them are kind of insufferable.
They just make the one in the back of my head just curl up in a ball and cry all the time. I used to stream as work because it's all I had to do. And then I got lazier.
I know, but we want the Fatal Frame. We want the Fatal Frame stream. So if you could make that happen...
I did step 1. I plugged in my mic. That's something.
This was like pulling teeth. I'm like, hey, I want to do this just chatting stream.
I think that's the exact sound I made too.
I probably should have started it with, do you want to go get a boba? He'd be like, yeah. Okay. How do you feel about these? Fatal Frame. We're on number 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Still have nightmares.
4 comes out in
I
9
don't-
days.
I don't play them, so I've just been living through Fox's stream. Yeah, the OG on the GameCube.
Well, I know they were on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. They might have been on GameCube as well.
Oh yeah, see, you just have to come watch them and watch somebody else play them. It's not as bad.
It's fun when I play them because I get sidetracked on all the rabbit holes.
And you
Like,
get so
hey.
much more lore.
Did you know this is a thing? Because I've jumped in the rabbit hole of reading the manga
Hmm
and the wiki.
It's like
I have a
educational at the
problem.
same time.
But I don't do spoilers. I'm
Yeah.
pretty good about
Yeah,
that.
you are good. So that's how I've... Crimson was on Xbox. Call you Mandora.
Yeah, there's 2 foxes today, I'm afraid.
A lazy fox and a blood-covered fox. Colored fox.
I could be covered in it. We don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I devour souls, remember?
Yeah. I do remember. We don't hate it, though. Sometimes souls got to go.
And they're so tasty.
The Feywild? I'm from. I forget
I was
that
found
you...
under a rock.
I forget that you like D.
Or at least that's what my parents told me.
It's true. I was there.
I've never questioned it. Then when they're super crazy, I can be like, that's not my blood. I was found under a rock.
It is handy. I will give
I
you
was
that.
adopted. I'm sure of it.
Your sister was hatched.
We were told there was a 3rd sibling, but he mouthed off and he was buried in the backyard.
Yeah.
That was what we were told growing
That was
up.
their parenting. Don't worry, we'll kill you too.
And it was always, we got rid of him for less.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, so I see you don't like boys. Got it.
It's okay, I was quiet and sat in a corner. I ate my vegetables.
You are a bad boy. You will go to the basement. Underground.
I was gonna say, I mean, my room was in the basement, so
Yeah, we both had basement.
pretty accurate.
I basically live in the basement where my office is, so I work down here, and then I take a couple-hour break to go eat lunch, or dinner, I mean, and then come back.
I am not allowed to have a basement now because I have fallen upstairs and dislocated a shoulder, and my husband's like, no. No stairs.
Unacceptable.
I also broke my finger walking out of a screen door. Like, I opened the door like normal and still broke my finger. So, stairs and me, just not good.
A couch baby and a basement goblin. Yeah, I fall up the stairs too. I don't fall down them. I fall up them. Yeah.
You're making me feel like this is weird.
Katie falls down the stairs and I fall up them.
I mean, yes. I haven't disposed of one, okay? Don't judge me.
Yeah, no kink shaming. It's 2023. Walk can be hard.
In all honesty, feet can go to hell. That is not a kink I have. They are foul.
Yeah, I'm not a big feet.
I'm not as bad as my sister-in-law, who just the mere thought of having to look at feet made her like dry heave. I'm not that bad.
Yeah, no. It is not my preference, but I don't hate them. All right, should we raid out so we can go to bed? Because we both have shit to do in the morning.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I guess.
But I think we're going to try to make this like a regular thing of just bullshitting. Having like some chill vibes. Yeah, slurp up those toes. Banned! If somebody could ban Lazy Fox, that would be great.
I'm sorry. I have to stick up for my fellow fox here.
You're banned too.
It's okay. You can't get rid of me. I know where you live.
Shay.
I'll just like sit outside your door and just be like slurp. Slurp.
Ban you in real.
You'll try.
I succeed. You don't know. I'm wily.
But for how long?
Not long enough.
You'll come back.
I'm gonna have nightmares about slurping.
You're welcome.
Fuck. Yeah. Ban Lazy Fox. I appreciate everybody hanging out. No ban.
I'll get my revenge. I will avenge you.
The next week I will not hear anything except for slurp.
I'm gonna start every conversation. You'll just get a random text. Slurp. Look forward to it. I'm doing you a favor by desensitizing you.
Thank you. My
I knew
therapist
you
would
needed
love
this.
you. All right, let's go check out some Call of Cthulhu. Yeah? Like some Lovecraft. Probably stream tomorrow, even though we don't normally, because I've got stuff going on Thursday, so I can't. But, Trigger, we need to figure out another Bigfoot night. So, message me and we'll figure out some schedule. Because I would love to play some more.